Welcome to the HealthTech Heroes, where we talk to innovators who are rewriting the DNA of healthcare. Today, we are joined by Dr. Alok Pratap, Vice President of Operations at VOCIS LLC and leader with a proven track record of transforming healthcare operations. Dr. Pratap's journey spans over a decade of hands-on experience in process improvement, client management, and scaling healthcare services across multiple renowned organizations. He is known for building high-performing teams, pioneering operational efficiency, and driving innovation in healthcare administration. His passion for both people and process continues to inspire change in a rapidly evolving healthcare industry. Welcome to HealthTech Heroes, Dr. Pratap.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And it's my pleasure having you over, Dr. Pratap. Dr. Pratap, can you take us back to a pivotal moment that sparked a passion for healthcare operations? Was there a personal experience or turning point that inspired your dedication to this field?
That is the story which is going to start from the beginning when I started working in this industry. So back in 2005, I joined the call center. They were BPOs basically, operating for some credit card companies and other support stuff. So I was thinking that what is the future of it? One day the AI is going to take place. Maybe there will be people coming in. What is going to be my future in this industry? So I came across about a company. They were hiring for some people. They were dedicatedly taking some people on board just to help the hospitals, clinics to build their business, to support the patients, to get more support from the government agencies such as the insurance companies. So it was a kind of new concept back in 2005. I'm talking about 10, 20 years back. It was a challenging role or challenging opportunity, I can say. Joined them, I started learning the process. As and when I started learning the process, there were multiple aspects where I thought that, yes, that is going to be useful. That is completely new. It is going to change the future of healthcare and in India as well. I started working for the US clients, but nowadays, if you can see, that is evolving. And those kind of activities which I have done 20 years back, that is started working in Indian culture too. Indian hospitals too. So it was interesting. It was kind of innovative and multiple chances of evaluation was there. So yes, I took it and I gradually started working on it. There were multiple things I have worked on. So if I can name some, there are people who is going to see or view this podcast from the healthcare industry. They will come to know. So a service I started working with, that was a medical transcription. Now it is called Scribe. Virtual Scribe. I started with that. Then the verification of benefits, eligibility. There are multiple things which I started working on, the charges, the payments, and most important part is the coding. So whatever services is being offered by the doctor to the patient, that is being coded in 5 or 6 or 4 digits code, alphanumeric codes. That now helps to get the payments from the insurance companies. So this is how it started, and this is how the challenging thing came in picture, and I started liking it, and then I proceed for it.
And what does it personally mean for you to work in healthcare? How do you think it impacts the society? Is there any personal connection why you really want to dive in and spend 20 years of your life in healthcare?
That is the interesting question because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be a doctor. But due to some circumstances, I have never chosen biology as a subject. I have chosen maths because engineering was in the boom. My parents also told me or suggested, in fact, that go and start learning or give yourself more time into maths and go into the engineering field. But that was not my core. So I didn't pursue for it. Later on, I got this opportunity and always I wanted to do it. I continued with it. So there is a personal interest. I never became a doctor officially in the healthcare sector, but I started working for the doctors. I started working for the hospitals. Now I know all the rules, all the guidelines, whatever policies they have, how the business run, how it is being implemented, how it is being operated.
Effectively, the idea of health tech heroes is this, that people who are not necessarily healthcare providers, but they are having an impact on patients from a layer
Right.
off. And I appreciate that. And the reason the podcast exists are the people like you who are making an impact, not directly on patients, but indirectly, but at arguably a large scale. Every leader faces hurdle early on. Can you share a defining challenge from your formative years that shaped your approach to leadership and service delivery?
That is the important aspect because when I started working in this healthcare industry, there were limited companies. There were only 4 or 5 companies who were taking care of the outsourcing business of a hospital or a clinic. So there was no training that time. So there was no one available to train you how this particular process is going to be. So how you are going to learn? That is the main challenge. I started learning through calling the insurance companies, talking more with the doctors, talking more with the front staff, nurses. It was not a general talk. If I have any query, I went ahead, I called them, got to know more about the process, about the procedure, and that is how I started learning. So if any, I talked about the codes earlier. So if any code has any difficulties, I used to call to the insurance companies to get to know more about it, the process, the plan, the codes, how it is being implemented. There were a couple of websites, Encoder Pro, it was that time, that provided or still is in the market. So that website was supposed to provide all the details on which code supposed to be built with which diagnosis. So if the patient is coming with some kind of issues, what the procedure will be, how the patient is going to get treated, that only doctor knows. But the person who is working on that particular on behalf of the doctor, working on the accounts, that person should also aware of how it is going to be. And there was no one to train that time. So started building some kind of handbook, one page Bible for everyone. And that is how it started. That is how it is still going. I still prepare the notes. Whenever I am taking minutes of meeting, whenever I am going in a conversation with any doctor at the insurance companies, I used to note down everything. That is my old habit. And that is how I started learning things. And that is how I train people. That is how I talk to the newbies who are coming in, the entrepreneurs who are opening the offices. If they are talking to me for the consultation, I used to tell them, go ahead and note down everything because that is going to help you out. That was a learning challenge that time, and there were limited people who tried this and tested, and the outcome was fantabulous.
So you have worked across multiple healthcare organizations like IKS Health
Yes.
and iCare Leaders and Sovereign Health, now at Voices. What drove you to keep evolving your career within healthcare operations rather than staying in one place? I mean, I can imagine all these companies have evolved and grown as well. Like, what made you change?
I mean, the HR people, when they reach out to me for new job openings, they always ask for it. Why you keep on changing the companies in every 2, 3, or 4 or 5 years? Because those 3 or 4 companies you named, I have spent 4 to 5 or 6 years in those organizations. So I am not a kind of monotonous guy. So if I feel that something is boring or monotonous, that one thing I'm doing every day, then it is not interesting for me. I need changes. For the first organization, if someone can go ahead and see my career graph in the first organization I worked with, I spent more than 6 years with them. Why? Because I joined them as a fresher. I had no knowledge at that time. I started learning the processes. And that is how I spent more than 6 years with them. I tried to learn, I tried to evolve myself with the system, with the upcoming challenges. And that is why I spent that time with them. After that, if you want something new to learn, you will have to change. Or if you are not going to change it, then you must be finding something or some kind of spark in that particular or current organization where you learn something new. That is why I changed that organization. And after changing multiple organizations, 3 or 4 or 5, you come to know that there are world bigger than whatever you're currently doing in your current organization. Every organization has their own set of guidelines, own policies, own procedures. How they perform there. There are people who are going to get along with you, get comfortable with you, but there are people who retaliate. There are repercussions to it. So you start learning things about it, how to manage those kind of people, how to manage those people who are comfortable. And there are people who are comfortable enough, more than enough, that you feel uncomfortable with them.
Okay.
So if you're working with multiple organizations and multiple people, you will get to know how to handle and how to manage those people as well. It is all about learn. If I'm getting bored or doing something on a daily basis, then I will change. That is the only reason why I have changed the organization. So it's not too frequent, but I have changed
I
it.
didn't mean to say it was too frequent, but the reason behind changing, right? What I
It is
gather
all
is
about learning, I can say.
learning. It's learning, growth, and adapting, and all these skill sets and having different learning different skill set will help you now, where the
Where I am
adapting is
currently,
not an
yes.
option. You have to adapt. You
Right.
have to change. You have to, even in the same organization, you have to change the whole cultural structure because changes are so fast.
Right.
So as you go forward in your previous life before you actually joined VOCIS, was there any achievement or patient success along your journey that strongly reaffirmed your commitment to improving healthcare systems?
There are two things. One is the human being. Second is the technology. So you will have to get connected with the people, with the technology at the same time. Because if you're going to completely rely on the people, then it is not going to work. Why? Because we will find in your work atmosphere or the culture, you will find the people who are over smart. They know nothing, but they act like I know everything. That is where the challenge come in. And the second part, if you're completely relying on the technology, then obviously you need someone who can go ahead and maintain it. So you have to go hand in hand with both human touch and the automation, the technology. So that is where the collaboration, or you can say a kind of cumulative effort, come in picture. And that is where again the learning is how to manage the people in such a way they are going to manage the tools for you, because the tools are there who is working because there are codes written,
Yeah.
but you need someone to manage that as well. The tool is generating the reports, a human is required to identify, analyze, and manage everything. So that is where the technology and collaboration come in picture.
Definitely, in a human part of it, you need someone accountable and have the technology accountable for anything. In your current role, leading operations at VOCIS, what major change have you tackled that you're most proud of, and what impact did it have? And a little brief idea about what VOCIS does and what it does really well.
Okay, so VOCIS is a 2021 years old organization, and they
Yeah.
are doing really good. Their headquarters is in Kentucky, Louisville, and they are operating in this healthcare sector. They do everything from patient scheduling, scribe, to the patient collections, payment posting, charges. You can name it, they are doing it. And they are running the operations successfully, smoothly. So when I was connecting with the owner of the organization, we were talking more about the automation strategies, how we are going to pull it, how we are going to implement it, and what all areas are there that can be where we can use the automation strategies. So we have identified a couple of areas, and we started working on it. So we have identified some tools who can fetch the production files from the PMS, from the practice management software where all the patient details are, and distribute it amongst the people who are currently working on. So it
Okay.
is a kind of tool which gives you the production file to work. Another tool we are in process to implement is the quality management system. So whatever production or the file is being done, whatever account is being worked, that is being consolidated in a file where the tool is going to automatically check all the errors. There are already edits placed in the system. Okay, we have prepared, we have created some rules in it. I'm not a coder, I have not done the coding, but I have given the ideas how to do it. So the tool is written in such a manner that whatever rules we have given, whatever edits we have placed in the system, automatically that tool is going to check the errors accordingly. So if the notes are not properly written, if something is missing that needs to be more influential information that is missing, then the tool is going to give you the error. Then you will get to know how and what should be done and why it is missing. Then you have to go recheck, revalidate, and then come back again. So initially, the error rate was more than, I can say, for 42%. Now, after implementation of tool, our assumption is that it is going to less than 5%. One more thing we are trying to implement here is that the voice agents. I have put the same note in LinkedIn in my post for the same organization. There is a company that has created some tool which has voice agents. So they reach out to the patients, they reach out to the insurance companies, they reach out to the stakeholders and talk to them like a real person. That is what the evolution is in the healthcare industry. Initially, what was supposed to be done? A person is going to dial the number to the patient, to the insurance companies, and get the status of it. But now that voice agent is doing it on our behalf. And that voice agent, automation agent, is not going to take any leave, not going to take any breaks. They work tirelessly 24/7 into 365. So that is the beneficial part of the organization. After doing this, I cannot say that human intervention will be completely ignored. It's not a need of an hour, but human intervention will be required because the agent is going to get you the status. After that, what action needs to be taken that a human can do. That we are sitting there, we can analyze it, we can go ahead and prepare for it. But the basic work is being done by the automation. These 3 or 4 automation strategies we are currently planning, these 3 or 4 steps we have taken, the tools are being implemented. That is currently going on. It is in process. It's going to take our company 5 or 10 years above of our current time.
That is, so this is moving and evolving really, really fast, and you're keeping pace with all the AI development and everything.
One example I would like to share when I started working back in 2005 or 6, there were teams I have seen who used to do the eligibility verification from the insurance companies. The patient is coming in, giving the insurance card, and the person who is there, a live person, is going to call the insurance and get the status of it. Now, the implementation is that you can check the same thing with a single click within the practice management software. You just click it, you will get to know that this patient, the iCard is active or not, the patient is eligible or not to get the services. So that is how it is changing. And if we are not going to change, and the system is going to change us.
Yep. Yeah, or leave you behind, right? That is this even more scary proposition. So the other part, it just when you said that our AI will be calling up the insurance, it's so going to happen that the other side receiver is also an AI. So it is AI
Yes,
talking
that
to
is
the
a possibility.
AI. Yeah. At the end, you're achieving some amount of efficiency, and it does not even have to be a call anymore because it's AI talking to AI. It could be a text message, right?
And I cannot say that after implementation of these voice AI agents, the human intervention will be completely eliminated. Not going to be. We need some person who can go ahead and manage those. The person who can go ahead and write the codes. There will be more evolution going forward.
Okay. I see, because there'll be
Yeah.
more amount of data going back and forth. So the human
Right.
intervention, still the hours that the requirement is going to be same because we are just dealing with so much more data, but they are operating at a more efficient, at a higher level. What are the most significant risks or pitfalls you see facing healthcare operations today, and how should leaders prepare for them?
So the leaders should be preparing for the next range of evolution which is coming in the healthcare sector. So we talked about too many automation ideas or the tools, but there are more which is coming in the picture. So now currently the calling part is getting automated. Checking eligibility part, it is automated. Now the AI is also going to take a part in putting the codes there to talk to the insurances and putting more edits on it, that for this particular diagnosis, for this particular problem, the AI is going to suggest the doctor that what needs to be done, what procedure has to be done there in this particular scenario. So new leaders, they should be more prepared about how to tackle those situations. Because if AI is going to tell the doctor everything, then there is no need for those people to come and in play, right? So they have to be ready for the changes, and they have to be ready implementing new ideas or new activities once this particular AI or the automation tool or agent is going to be in place, how they are going to handle it. What all information, because AI is dangerous, everybody is saying this. And this AI is going to be all protected health information, which is going to violate the HIPAA rules if it is not being managed properly. HIPAA is a guidelines
Sure.
that protect the health information of a patient in US. So all the information you are providing to the AI tool, there must be some regulations in it. And that regulation is going to stop the AI to access each and everything which is there. There must be some foundation to it. So the new leader should be also understanding this. PHI is required, HIPAA is also required. And how you are going to put a stop on it, you have to have someone who is going to write some rules for the AI to stop misusing the PHI, misusing the data of the patients or their health history or their historical events. So that is how they have to be ready for everything, for every phenomenal change in the industry.
Now, talking about the changes in the future and consider advancements in digital solutions and healthcare delivery models, where do you see is the biggest opportunity for healthcare operations in the coming decade? I know decade is a long time, but you can translate that to maybe a year, 6 months, 3 years, 5 years, whatever you feel comfortable.
My analysis says that maximum 5 years, the complete healthcare industry is going to change. In last 20 years, the changes I have seen, I can certainly say that in next 5 years, there will be massive change. Maybe there will be a less requirement for the in-person availability or the human touch. But yes, that will be there for sure. But the story is not for a decade. The story is maximum 5 years. The people has to change. The people has to evolve accordingly. The new requirements coming in, because if we are talking about the outsourcing only for the BPOs or for the companies who are doing the job on behalf of the providers, the doctors, there are changes which is also coming in place for the doctors too, for the insurance companies too. They are also automating things, right? So in next 5 years, they will be also automating some things, and the next 5 years, the provider side or the companies who are currently working on it, they are also going to automate things. So simultaneously, the evolution will be there. and they will have to make some changes accordingly. I cannot predict what exactly is the change. There will be multiple changes coming in, and that is going to impact the market a big time.
So I think it's a really good pivotal point for my next question. So you said we cannot predict what the changes are going to be, but
Right.
I have a feeling you might be keeping an eye on two or three things that you kind of have a feeling is going to change dramatically. So again, for a leader, what are those two or three things that you're looking at and you want people to keep an eye on is most likely going to have the largest impact? And what kind of mindset do we need to bring? Should we wait and adapt, or should we be the ones who are changing things, or should we adapt as soon as possible? What is the kind of mindset?
So if you talk about my mindset, I will go with option number two. A leader should be the person who go ahead and make the changes
Okay.
according to the market, according to requirement. If you're waiting for the changes to come and then you adapt, no, it is too late because market is changing rapidly. If you're waiting for something is going to be in the market and then you are going to learn, then you are going to implement, then you are going to adapt, no, it is too late. What you have to do is a leader, for the leader, a leader has to keep an eye on everything, every changing trend in the market, in the healthcare sector. Who had spent more than 10 years in this industry, the person knows that what all changes are going to be here, what all requirements were there. So now this is the high time the person should be coming in the market, coming in the play, and start working on the implementation of those changes which they were supposed to do, right? So if they were thinking that, okay, I should be automating this, then they should start doing it. If you're thinking that someone else is going to do it, no. Sorry to say, it is going to be too late for it. And if you don't want to be in the race, you have to start now. You should not be waiting for a year or 6 months. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next year. No, that is not going to happen. Someone else is going to do your job, and you will be nowhere available in the market. You are going to be years, 5 years, 10 years behind the current situation. So keep an eye on the market, see what all changes are there, think out of the box, and try to figure out what is going to be the next role you can make the changes on. What is going to be the next impact on the market to make the changes accordingly. So a leader has to keep the eyes, ears, everything open, the mind, brain completely open to make the changes. It is not only the job of Gen Zs to do it, it is not only the job of baby boomers to do it. Everyone who is currently working in this market, in the healthcare sector, if they're trying to be, if they are passionate, if they're trying to make some changes, they have to start immediately.
Perfect.
You will never know by tomorrow, by next month, someone else is going to announce that, okay, this is the new thing I have done, this is the new thing I have implemented. And now you are way behind. You are thinking for it, but you never went for it.
What are those one or two or three things that you are keeping an eye on for the change?
First, I'm keeping an eye on the strategies that is going to change the healthcare structure. Second, I'm keeping an eye on the human behavior too. So the people are currently frustrated or afraid of the word, which is the sentence which has been quoted by multiple people that AI is dangerous and AI is going to take your jobs. But that is not completely true. Yes, the people who are not coming in with the open mind, open ears and eyes, obviously they will be removed. Their jobs will be completely vanished. But if the person is ready, if the people is ready to evolve themselves, their jobs will be safe. So I'm keeping an eye on the market strategies and the future automation ideas. And also at the same point in time, the people. If I know one person, for example, if I know you do this job perfectly, you have the kind of keen understanding of this particular project, I will have to keep you with me so that in future, if AI is going to fail or misbehave, then this person is going to help me out of the situation. So yes, keep the people with you, gain their trust, have them by your side, keep the AI tool or the future strategies for automation on their right hand. So both should be going hand in hand so that if someone needs help, other one can pitch in. And if the system is getting failed, then the human is going to help you out on this.
That is a really good idea that you have provided. Essentially, go
Mhm.
fully with AI for efficiency, backed by human expertise. So this goes hand, and it's like a railway track. It is they may or may not meet, but they go in parallel all the while, and that's how you run the whole system. If there is one message or guiding principle you'd like to share with aspiring innovators and entrepreneurs in this area, hoping to create impact in today's healthcare landscape, what would be that message or guiding principle for an entrepreneur who is just starting and looking for opportunities in this field?
They will always have to be ready for the innovation. If you think this particular code is going to help you in any manner by solving your current issues or maybe future issues, go for it. Do not wait or do not get or try to figure out that who is going to approve it, who is going to build for me. No, you go ahead and build it. Those people who are writing the codes, they have not done any rocket science earlier, right? They started from the scratch, they had the understanding, and then they started working on it. So if you think your idea can work, go and give it a try. Do not overthink of any ideas. Nothing is coming or nothing is falling in your lap. You have to take risk. You have to go a mile beyond of your current limitations. Otherwise, you will be far behind from the current situation. Go ahead, run for the automation, for innovation, for new ideas. Always think outside of the box. Everyone is going in a same way or in a same road. You don't have to do the same thing what the people has done earlier. You have to choose your own path. You have to go by your interest, your instincts, your own ideas or innovation strategies. Also, at the same time, you have to be some logical. If you're writing something, if you're guiding something, or if you're telling someone to do this, you will be filling it with the logic all the time. I'm not saying you go ahead and take the calculative risk, but there should be first or second step to be calculated so that you're not falling on your very first ladder or very first step. You go 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, you can fail at 5, but you still have learning and understanding of 4 steps, right? Life is very short. Go ahead and make the changes. That is what I can say to the new leaders.
Fair enough. Great advice. Before we wrap up, I'll give you 90 seconds. You can take more if you want to share anything we might have missed because of limitation of my questions, or if you want to reiterate anything that you deem very important. And basically, the question is yours, the answer is yours, and the stage is yours.
It was really innovative kind of setup, I can say, because I have done some podcasts earlier, but I have not talked about these strategies, ideas in detail. So thank you for giving the platform. Second, this particular healthcare industry, there are people who said that they know everything, but they have no idea what exactly is going on because it is too complex. Whosoever is coming in, new entrepreneurs or the people who are starting their own organizations, they are saying that they will work with the doctor. So don't go for the money all the time. What you have to go behind is follow the passion of learning. So whenever you are learning new things, then the innovation will come in place. If you have a keen understanding of any subject, obviously new idea will flow through. If you don't have any understanding, nothing will happen. So try to understand what exactly you are doing. 20 years back, no one was aware about what exactly healthcare industry looks like. I used to explain some people when they asked that what are you doing currently? When I start explaining that this is the healthcare system, we work for the doctors, they at the end say, okay, you're working for a call center. Then at that point, I used to say, okay, you are completely right. You're absolutely correct. I'm working for a call center. There is nothing else I can go ahead and explain. But nowadays, the changes are there. The people are aware. Why? Because the things which are happening in US 20 years back, now happening in India too. In India, they have the insurance cards. Multiple hospitals are there. They talk about the panels. They talk about which insurance plan you have. So if you have a panel, you go and take care of the procedures, the services which is going to be provided by the doctor. An insurance company is going to pay for it. Now the people who initially asked me question about it, now they understand it. Now they try to explain me that what exactly is the process is, how exactly it works. So things are evolving. That is the recognition now I can say, and with these kind of platforms, more people will be aware about it. There is one more instance when a person who was a coder went to KBC. KBC is a show here in India. So one coder who used to explain things about how the coding works, how the healthcare system works. Now they got to know that what exactly a healthcare system is. By taking that example, I am also in process to educate the people how this process works. Because a new breed is coming in, new generation is coming in, they are not going in depth of the knowledge of it. They are just learning couple of things there from the upside of it and then done. They say they are going to be the champion for it, but they have no idea what exactly is there in the depth of this healthcare industry. So the learning should be there, plus innovation that is required. And now my only effort is to educate the people to understand this particular healthcare technology, the process. Whenever I get time, I used to talk to the people, and there is a bonding, a relation between the people I worked with. When they're getting stuck somewhere, they used to call me. They are from different organizations. That is how it is going on currently, and I will continue to do this.
Terrific people who are listening. So if you have any questions regarding, we have Dr. Pratap here. And with that, we come to an end of this podcast and really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate the efforts you are currently doing for the society, for the people. And thank you so much.